Down, say you down. You gotta stand up and fight. Oh, you gotta stand up. Oh, you fight.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Oh, you fight.
In person is so much more beautiful.
You know that's just love to me.
Yo, what's good? It's Greg Lamont,
Dude.
and welcome to Vision Talks. Today we got some good topics to come to because the world has been pretty wild.
Crazy.
The last 7 days feels like the last 7 days been a month for real,
Deadass.
but for sure. But
Last
I feel
month of the
like
year.
what we gotta start with is the elephant in the room, which is that fucking fight.
What do y'all
Tyson
think? What do y'all think about that
versus
fight?
Paul. Well, let's say the event in general, because we watched a few fights before it. I say before we even get into the Tyson fight, anybody who's seen that, which there was I think like 70 million viewers, so a lot of people seen that. Anybody who's seen what 119
million.
bro? Okay,
God bless.
119 million for perspective. That's insane. That's actually fucking crazy. Yeah, definitely pull that up real quick. Can they see this at all? Okay,
No.
it's cool. But okay, so he said there's 100+ million. For perspective, y'all, the biggest pay-per-view fight of all time, I think was that's fucking crazy. I thought it was like 65, 70. Wow.
What was the biggest pay-per-view of all time prior to that?
The biggest pay-per-view of all time was Floyd. I think it was Floyd Conner and then Floyd Pacquiao. But like the other four are Floyd, and they sold 4.8 million. So that's pretty big viewership. But this shit did over 100. Now I feel like we got to talk about what the real fight of the night was.
Who was the females?
It was definitely
Her
females.
eyelid was
Definitely
coming
females.
off, dog. I thought she was gonna lose her eyeball for a
Yeah.
period of time.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. That was crazy. He knows. I was watching that fight for like what 4 rounds.
Yeah,
and
and
that
that-
shit got bad. I put my hoodie over my head. I'm like, yeah,
I'm out.
the ref. Anybody who see that clearly knows that shit was paid. Like the ref didn't even interject. He's just sitting there watching her eye hang, and the bitch is headbutting her the whole fight. Now I did see their fight before that, and their fight before that it was a fair fight, although. The one who lost, Amanda, she whooped her ass that fight. But
Yeah.
it was fair ref. It was everything. This fight looked like a sacrifice.
It did, because Katie honestly didn't even. If you looked at the stats too, it didn't really. It
Yeah.
didn't make any sense. It doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense to me.
So Katie Taylor won against Amanda Serrano, whatever. And Amanda landed 100 more total punches. She had a higher percentage of landing, but somehow she lost. Mind you, did you remember what the final scoring of it was of the female fight?
No.
So it was 95-94. It was 95-94. Even after they took off 1 point from Katie. You remember the 1 point they took off that didn't really do shit.
So if they wouldn't have taken that off, do you think that she would have lost?
If they wouldn't take it off, it would have been a tie.
Oh damn.
But because they took it off, I mean she won by 1 point. But that in itself, you land 100 more punches, the person gets a point taken. How do they win by 1 point? Where's the logic?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's the same thing with Mike. We watched Mike dance around the ring and avoid punching him in the head like 6 different times. He would swing and stop halfway through the swing.
Yeah, no. The thing was, when I was watching it, I was just thinking like, yo, Mike's old. Like from the second he showed up. Yeah, let's talk about the Mike fight. From the second he showed up for his walkout, do you remember what I said whenever he popped up?
I think you said something about him looking just like
Yeah.
disheveled.
Yeah, I was like, he's gassed. He's gassed. As soon as you seen his face, he was like, and the reason I think that is, looking back on it, is because that shit was rigged. Like watching it, I was like, Mike's old, Mike's out of shape and shit. But have you seen any clips of it, like where he could clearly hit him, but he just didn't hit him?
Yeah, I've seen a handful of clips. I was watching it. I mean, we watched it live, and
Right.
I feel like I saw it a handful of times where I was just disappointed. It was just disappointing. The whole thing was disappointing. If I had paid to sit there in the crowd and watch that live, I would have actually been mad,
Facts.
genuinely. And that's not just because like he lost and like I'd be a sore loser on some bullshit. Like no, like the fight was just bullshit.
Real shit. Yo, can you turn that down? But yeah, no, I mean that fight was weird from the jump. Whenever Mike's ass is out, we was watching that shit live. I'm thinking, cause like we were hyped. Like our generation ain't never seen Mike fight live. Mike was supposed to come in here. This nigga was supposed to be a gladiator. This nigga was supposed to come in here and destroy him.
He had his ass
and
out. You kissed that dude backstage too for no reason too.
Yeah, but
Like,
whenever
why'd
he
they
had
get
his
that
ass out, I was thinking like, you ever seen the old Mike where he telling people like, I'll make you fucking love me. Da, da, da. I thought it was gonna be that Mike. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like, yo, I'm nuts. But that nigga came out there and bit his glove for 8 rounds and walked around. But
They say the chewing on the glove thing is like so that you can like keep your fists up or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me though. It really doesn't.
yeah, for sure. For sure. I agree. I've never seen. I've watched like 6 boxing events. I mean, it's not a lot, but and I've watched plenty of highlights, but I've never seen nobody bite their glove ever in a boxing fight. I think he was probably tripping. You think?
Yeah, I mean, he looked like he was gassed on some mushrooms. He's known for like eating mushrooms a lot recently. I know
Yeah.
that. So
Nigga taking the toad, all types of shit.
we ate those the bites, the
Facts.
ear bites while we were watching
Facts.
it. Those shits were fire.
Yeah,
Those
we
Mike
watched
Tyson
the fight
bites.
the best way you could have watched the fight.
Them
'Cause
bitches
we
were
got them.
fire.
Huh? Yeah. You
Them
tried
bitches
them
were-
before?
Dude.
They're fire. I'm not even that big on edibles. I like edibles, but like I don't get them that much, and sometimes they're disappointing. But these were fucking. We was floating. And Mike was getting his ass whooped. It was kind of disappointing.
We shared what was left in a bag. Like there
Facts.
were like if you eat a whole bag of those on your own, those will get you fucked up.
Facts. And it said it said Delta, but that shit was not no fucking Delta. I think it said Delta, right? It says like Delta 9 on the bag or
in
some
a
shit.
store locally, like near me in Bell Vernon.
For real?
Yep.
That's fire.
To Kingdom of Smoke.
That's fire. But yeah, that fight was a disappointment. I think we can all definitely. That shit was trash. But the next night, UFC, John Jones versus Stipe. Now a lot less people seen that, but John Jones, for those who don't know, he's considered to be. A lot of people consider him the GOAT. A lot of people consider one of the GOATs. But the person he was fighting is considered the greatest heavyweight in UFC history until that fight because of his resume. And that shit was a bully match.
I waited a minute to watch that match.
Facts.
I ended up getting.
You're not the only person I know who actually didn't get to watch it because the match didn't start till 2:30 a.m. So a lot of people.
Damn, it didn't come on till
Yes,
2:30.
bro. I was up all fucking night waiting on that shit. But yeah, I mean there were some good matches before it. It was lit. The building was lit because they gave Trump his own walkout and shit. I'm pretty sure you seen that. Nigga,
He showed me the clips of that.
He walked out with RFK, Elon,
The
Tulsi's
dude,
fine ass.
he ended up knocking him out, and he did the Trump dance too at the end, didn't he?
Facts.
Was that when he did that?
So round one, he took the dude down, and was just elbowing
That was in
him.
round one.
Yeah, well, yeah, he could have knocked him out in round one, and he said in his post-fight interview, and he's talking to Joe, he was like, "I wanted to knock him out in round one." Because what happened, bro? This is a big dude. John Jones isn't a natural heavyweight either. He put on like 50 pounds.
Yeah.
He took the dude down, was dominating him. Round 2, the dude's gas. Round 3, he kicked him, broke his rib. Fight's over. Does a Trump dance. It was a good moment. It was definitely a better taste in my mouth from the fucking Tyson fight because that shit was gas. But at least you didn't have to pay for that. So
I feel like that's why it was free.
because it was fixed.
Yeah, because they knew like people would like have literally rampaged if they had to pay like pay per view.
No,
Like,
facts.
Once I seen it was on Netflix, I was like, bro, this shit is not gonna be what everybody thinks it is.
For real.
Yeah.
For real. So see, he was thinking smart. He's saying, Cam saying, because it was on Netflix, he knew it was gonna be a setup pretty much.
Netflix has always been full of shit, for real.
I don't even like Netflix. I'm not gonna lie. Every time I've ever used Netflix, I can't find something I like. So I stick to Amazon, which is where actually a lot of new sports and boxing and even NBA's at right now. But yeah, that shit's over with. I say,
Trying to think. During that fight, apparently the Pentagon just like misplaced
yeah.
$900 billion.
oh yeah. So during the Tyson fight, see, that's a good point. During the Tyson fight, a lot of people still don't know. I mean, it's kind of viral, but the Pentagon failed its audit for the 7th year in a row, and they said that they don't know, they can't account for where $900+ billion went taxpayer money. So I don't know. I feel like that fight definitely could have been a distraction.
Bro, like the difference between a million and a billion is like so vast too, because people will throw around the word like a billion, like it's almost the same as a million, but it's really not. Like if you were to be given $5,000 every day, after 6 months goes by, you'd have a million.
Right.
You wouldn't have a billion until 547 years goes by. That's the difference between 1 million and 1 billion.
See, that's why you got to get to the B's. That's why that needs to be the goal, because that's real generational wealth. Because think about, that's literal generational wealth. If you could give up $5,000 for 500 years, that's like 10 generations of people.
Yeah, seriously, it is.
But no, that's definitely deep. I feel like people have an idea that most billionaires are evil. Would you agree?
It seems like it. Yeah, because okay, dude, like if you have all that money and you're not helping people out, what's wrong with you? Like there are actively people out there that are trillionaires, but they're just not known to the public.
Yeah.
Like, people talk about them. Like Grant Cardone talks about friends of his that are trillionaires.
Yeah, Elon said there's definitely people richer than him. I agree.
That's wicked, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like most of the trillionaires right now are probably like the people who are like world leaders, government owners, or like Rothschilds.
Yeah, Cardone said his friend that, didn't mean to cut you off,
You're
but his
good, I'm
his friend that's a trillionaire has a lab in his basement, basically. Like he has like a whole like science team that's like working to try and like make him live as long as possible.
Really?
Yeah, because he just like wants to attempt to be immortal because he has so much money.
I actually did hear him talking about trying to find ways to live.
Like live longer.
Like,
I'm like,
long
that's
as fuck.
crazy. That sounds like that's greed, bro.
Do you think? I mean, I feel like we used to, like thousands of years ago. I feel like we used to live longer. Whenever we was truer to the source of what we are, and we wasn't in these systems and all that, I feel like we probably lived longer. But I think, I don't know. I feel like the way that the billionaires in these next 10 years are going to try to start living longer, at least testing, is by chips in people's brains. Like it's going to become a cyborg community eventually.
Bro, you see that? You see that? Did we talk about that robot?
Which one? The Kai?
Yeah. Did we talk about that already?
Kai Cenats?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that thing's big as fuck. Did you see it?
That shit's kind of poopy. I mean, actually, it's kind of good. I just seen it yesterday. It was, at first I thought it was just like a clunky piece of shit. I'm not gonna lie, but then I seen like it dances. This one dude gave it the finger. It gave him the finger back, and he was like, "Yo, flick up with me." He put his arm around it and it posed. So
I feel like it's a situation where it's not portraying its full intelligence. You know what I mean? Like it's
playing
like it's
coy.
It's way smarter and way more capable
than what it shows itself.
Than what it shows itself. Like,
but it's learning us. It's like learning how to deceive us.
Yeah, like it'll come off as clumsy and bulky and like not that smart, so that it can like over time get to like know its owner.
Now, My question for you, while we're talking about that robot, how long, if you think it's been a while, how long do you think the government has had that type of technology? Because that's compared to what they have now, it's probably baby stuff. So when do you think they achieved that? 70s, 80s, 40s?
Way longer. Yeah, like I feel like, to be honest with you, they don't like they release things to the public like 20 plus years after they've already been using it, had it, mastered it. Yeah, like I mean, you have to think, bro, like the movie Iron Man was made in like 2005,
2008.
2008, something like that. That's like the
10
concept
year.
of that would have had to have already been around for quite some time in order for that to come out. And like that is an
Well,
exoskeleton suit, bro.
facts, and you got to even think the comic book Iron Man's probably been around since the 70s or something. Where that come from? But the funny thing about the movie Iron Man, which a lot of people don't know, the Pentagon, who just couldn't account for 900 billion, they have a budget for film. They have a budget for film every year. They give hundreds of millions for film. And one of the films on that, you could look this up. You could Google films that the Pentagon has paid for or funded, and Iron Man's usually at the top of the list.
That's fucking wild.
So
Like why? You know what I mean?
I don't know. But speaking of meetings and shit, like the Pentagon, I think when was it? Oh yeah, it was the same time that Trump met with Biden that they had their first court hearing about the UAPs. UAPs, if you don't know, is UFOs. UAPs is the current term because UFOs, according to the government, doesn't really describe what they're seeing because it goes both aerial and underwater, so they call it unidentified
You think?
aerial phenomena.
Do you think that they'll actively continue to try and hide all this stuff, or they're actually gonna start filtering it to the public like they said they would?
Well, I'm gonna say the only reason that this shit is coming to us is because we're fine. Like we have become, the government can no longer like smoke and mirrors us as good as they used to.
Yeah.
Because of the internet, because of like a lot of deregulation and just us getting power. But I think that they're gonna come out with more. I mean, after that meeting, they had another one. It was like the same day you sent me that ring in the sky. You remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. Question.
Big ass rings around the moon and shit.
Facts. This year's the first year. I don't know about you, but this was the first year I've ever seen a big ass ring around the moon, like in the sky. It's happened, I think, 3 or 4 times this year in the Fayette County area, or probably more than just that. But from my point of view, early summer it happened, like late spring, early summer.
I did see it happen a few years back, a couple times.
Really?
Yeah, but it was weird because it didn't happen for a long time after that, and I just didn't really question it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like, what you can do about it? You mean?
Ja, what's good? But I'm listening to you. You didn't even question it. I mean, I didn't question. I mean, I did question it. A lot of people was actually posting it. The first time that I seen it, there was a lot of people who was posting it, but they just thought it was like, just because it was cold, that was just like an illusion. But that shit happened again. You just sent me a video like a week ago. I'm like, no crazy shit, but that shit could be like
All right.
UAP motherboard.
I'm just high, and I'm just and I'm just thinking. But okay, hear me out. How is it that it can affect anything that's in our atmosphere if it's not anywhere near it? Like
What?
you
How is what?
watch, you'll watch like, I don't know if you've ever like just like watched the moon for quite like
Oh,
some
the
time.
moon,
Out.
okay.
Yeah, like you can see like clouds. It manipulates them sometimes in certain ways.
For sure.
It's weird.
For sure. I mean, they call people loony because lunar, the moon, all that shit's real. I mean, a lot of people say whenever a full moon's out, people get crazy. So I definitely think it definitely has a direct effect on us. But
Listen to Kendrick Lamar's new album before we came
about
here.
to say that poopy
What was
ass
that, like,
album.
yeah, it was like 50 minutes ago
Okay.
it dropped, or an hour now.
Okay, so for those who don't know, breaking, Kendrick Lamar dropped the album an hour ago, literally like hour and a half ago. And I mean, it's all right. It's not I haven't played the whole thing through. But it's not really what I was expecting it to be. But I will say it's different. It's different. He's in a new form of himself.
What do you think about the
But
cover art?
the cover art is a little sus.
That's what I'm thinking.
And I'm trying to understand, why is it called GNX? That's the name of the album, GNX.
GNX or GNX?
GNX, all three letters, GNX.
Hmm.
And then the card that he's leaning on, it says GNX. So I'm wondering, like, but I mean, obviously Kendrick Lamar is a great artist, but if I had to give a projection on what I think it's going to sell, and I'm willing to bet on it, I think it's going to sell 3 on the low end, like 290, 300K to 500K max. Like, I don't see it going past 500.
That's fair.
Because this was just, like, out in the blue. A lot of people still don't even know about
I
it.
didn't have any. I would not have known about
I
that
know.
if you didn't tell me about it. For
I know.
real.
We played a couple of songs, though. What did you think about it?
I didn't like it so far. I mean, there's one song on there that sounded good, but that was mainly just because of the beat. I mean, I don't know.
Fucking West Side shit. That bullshit.
I'm excited to see where it goes. Because, I mean, like, because once you put something out like that, you're going to be expected to clap back again. So, like, maybe the next one will be better.
Well, talking about clapping back, do you think that this is going to start around 2?
Oh, yeah. I feel like for sure. Because, I mean, like you said, too, like, I don't know. Drake's kind of, like, petty as fuck.
Yeah.
He's not just going to, like, let him drop an album dissing him and be like, and, like, not. I mean, I don't know. Then again, too, at the same time, to just ignore it would be even funnier.
Yeah. I mean,
like, that'd be kind of fucked up, but funny
Yeah.
at the same time.
I mean, the album, it's the whole album isn't dissing Drake. Parts of it are definitely. You could tell that throughout the album, Drake's on his mind in the album. So I think that it's definitely going to be a clapback album or a clapback song. But I just find it ironic because, like, 2 months ago, Drake said something about round two, and people talking about, oh, get over it, it's done, there ain't no round 2. But first he drops Watch the Party Die, now he drops this album. I think round 2 is going on. But
It's featuring, who else is it featuring? Taylor Swift's on there.
maybe
Excuse me.
they said Taylor Swift's on there. I mean, I don't listen to her, but I didn't hear her on a single track that we played.
Yeah.
But
Fuck it.
yeah, so my question to you, last week we said top 5 albums of all time and top artists. My question to you would be your top 3 filmmakers. They don't have to be in order, but because we do plan on doing film, which we're already doing, but film, music, photography, all that type of stuff, who are your biggest inspirations on film?
I'm gonna put Steven Spielberg at number 1, just because of all of the amazing pieces that he's put together. Like, when you really take a step back, like now that I'm older, you know what I mean, too. Like, you've seen his name. Like, I've seen his name on so many things.
For real.
There's
I
just,
don't
like,
even know what
countless.
his face looks like, but his name's iconic.
There's Yeah, I think he actually kind of looks like Steve Jobs in a way.
For real.
I might be. Correct me if I'm wrong, but, like,
Let me
I
look
think
up a picture.
yeah, look it up real quick. But yeah, I'd have to put him at number 1 just because of all the work, like all the amazing work that he's done and still does, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he made Jaws. You make Jaws, you're a fucking legend.
Facts.
Steven.
He made E.T.
Facts.
Yeah.
Damn,
I s-
he does look like Steve
Does
Jobs.
he look like Steve Jobs? Am I right?
Yeah, I mean,
That's-
he looks
kinda.
like if Steve Jobs never got cancer and aged.
Yeah, he kind of. So, but okay, like number 2. Set aside all the weird shit. Quentin Tarantino is
Yeah,
impeccable when it comes to
Absolutely.
film, and I think it really does just come to with him. It really just boils down to, like, he won't let anybody change his script. When he writes a movie, like, this is the movie. If you don't like it, then it won't happen. You know what I mean? And he just, like, he pushes the script, and he also
that's
definitely
deep.
facts. Thank you. But he, like, pushes he pushes the shit over the edge, like,
Facts.
every time. Every single one of
Yeah,
his movies
he's
are
kind
insane.
of like a Kanye.
I don't know who to say for number 3. I'm trying to think though. Like I'm not quite sure.
It doesn't have to be a director. It could be any film legend.
Donald Glover.
Oh yeah, nah, for sure. That's a solid fucking 3. I can't lie. That's a real solid 3. So Steven Spielberg, Quentin Tarantino, Quentin Tarantino,
Hell yeah.
and Donald Glover. That's solid. I'd say for me, I would have to put I think his name's Jordan Peele, the dude who wrote Us.
Hey, yeah, he's good.
And
That's a good one. I kind of
gotta
forgot
put
about
him in there. But I just had a name before I started my 3. It slipped me, but I'm gonna throw. Honestly, I'll make Wes Craven an honorable mention. I don't want to. Do you know Wes Craven?
Mm-mm.
He made Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
He made all of those.
My apologies.
No, you're good. Yeah, I mean, I bet most people don't know that, but
That's true.
But so I'm gonna put Adam Sandler, just because if you look at Adam Sandler's work, he's not just an actor. Adam Sandler wrote, directed, produced, and starred in, which is my goal, which is his goal, which is all the independent filmmakers' goals. He wrote, directed, and starred in blockbuster films, like classics, which means he gets all the profit pretty much.
Bro, and like Cam said, bro, he puts all his friends on. Like everybody,
Yeah,
his
no, that's
family, his
true.
friends. Like there's so many people that are in so many of his movies.
Miscellaneous roles, like he'll have a movie crazy in it.
Fact.
2 cameos, 3 of his friends walking in.
And it's always fire too. They're all good actors. They all get along
It's
and
all
shit.
natural. Like,
Yeah, man.
his movies don't feel forced. But I'm trying to think, who's my 3rd one? I need to put a classic.
We said okay. Wait, what did you say so far? You said because you gave an honorable mention to the guy that made Elm Street, but
Yeah, I said something. Oh yeah, Jordan Peele,
Jordan Peele,
Adam Sandler,
and then
and
so far those are both really good.
Jordan Peele, Adam Sandler. I mean, I gotta say Steven, honestly. I'm trying to think of it slipping my mind who it is before him. I learned a lot about the dude in film school. I can't really remember his name, but instead of him, I'm gonna put Steven, because Steven, like you said, Steven has made timeless, like true timeless movies.
But yeah, like his movies will be around for hundreds of years from now. Like people are gonna like look back and watch E.T. and be like, look at this shit.
Facts. E.T., Jaws, like he just classic. So
Who
I'd
made
definitely say
The Wizard of Oz?
That's a good fucking question. There's so many weird stuff around that movie.
Yeah. Did you know that if you hit play on The Wizard of Oz with the sound off, like just, hit play, no sound, and then hit play on the Dark Side of the Moon album by Pink Floyd at the same time, the songs, everything goes perfectly with the movie?
Yes, but only because you taught me that. And I want to try that. That's.
I've only ever tried it once. Like I only ever like watched it once.
I bet you
and
they
it
probably
was,
played that in the studio while they made it.
It was wicked. They might have. I always wondered, like halfway through watching it. I mean, I wondered to myself, I'm like, I don't know how somebody could even do it. Like, there's no way you did it by accident. But like,
I wonder whenever I think about those old school people, like the old music. I think like, cause today's modern way of making music is more so like punching in, like toss up a pre-made beat, shit like that. But back in the day, everything was made from scratch and made slow. So I'm wondering what their recording processes were like.
they had to have a whole
if
lot
they
more
weren't just coked up.
equipment, I feel like, and I think they just spent way more time finding melodies and rhythms and stuff than we maybe necessarily do nowadays. Like they're not like us, but like
Do you
people
think
in
that
general.
was smart back then though? Because like I feel like the majority of the industry was broke back then.
Yeah, see, I don't know. That's a good question. Like when like computers weren't around until way later, so like
Yeah.
those weren't easily accessible. The first ever band to use computers and only computers to make a beat or to make a song was the Silver Apples.
Oh yeah, and are they the ones who their first song was like some
It was
trippy
pretty
shit.
creepy. It was a creepy song. It's called
I don't know.
I can't remember
if I'm
what it's
thinking of the
called.
same people.
They used it in that movie,
There
that
was a
new
song. It
Civil
was
War
like
movie.
about the internet, right?
I think here, let me look it up real
Yeah,
quick and see
fuck
what it was called. Fuck it.
Look that shit up. Yo, y'all tune in tonight. Stash Spot every Friday at 6 p.m. Every Friday.
Hell
you can catch
yeah.
us, Stash Spot 6 p.m. Bunchable.
Smoking.
Plats. And then every Saturday, tomorrow, I'll actually be on this week's episode of Marley's Interviews. Marley's Interviews, you can catch it at 8 every Saturday. Greg Lamont, myself, I'll be on there showcasing who I am, where I come from, what got me started, and where it's going. So definitely tune into that.
That's
For
8 o'clock
sure.
tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What was I looking up? Silver Apples.
Silver Apple, their first song.
I think their first song was called Love Fingers.
No, that's not the same thing I'm thinking about.
It's
That-
a fucking
that's-
creepy song.
It's probably fire. Love Fingers.
Yeah,
that's
it's- I
that's
wouldn't
a
consider it
different
fire.
name.
But I would consider it historic. That's all.
But yeah. So
What we got?
I was gonna touch on albums coming. So I know I've mentioned I have The World Is Yours will be coming around New Year's. There'll be something coming soon. But do you have anything in the
You know,
works?
yeah, I do, and it just came to my mind just now. I just thought about it because
What's
I think it would be simple, but I don't know if anyone's ever even done it. I'm just gonna
Say it.
make an album and call it The Album.
The album.
Yeah, because my name's the dude.
Fact. No, fact. Nah, are you gonna? Is your name gonna be The Dude or is it Dude?
I think it. I don't know. That's a good question. I think it would be the dude.
The Dude.
Yeah, the dude.
Okay. All right.
Or
Hell
just
yeah.
Dude.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure that
I'll
out
go in and edit the
as
features.
soon as I upload that shit. But, bro,
Okay, so
that'll
so
be my
the
first album.
Your first album. Let's talk about your first album because I feel like this would be a good topic.
I'm working
So-
on a single right now. I don't know what I'm gonna call it,
Yeah,
but that's gonna be
so-
on there first for
So
sure.
if you had to imagine your first album, what it is, what's the length of it, what's the substance to it, and what should people expect when they tap play on it?
I'm thinking somewhere between like a 20 to 30 minutes. If I can do that, which I know I can, it'll just
Definitely
take a little
can.
bit of time. And then, honestly, bro, I've always liked more relaxed rap music. You know what I mean? Like
Like
that chill, like
jazzy,
smoke,
yeah.
like smoke to it, but
Hell
like
yeah.
also can like ride to it and like play it at a party. You know what I mean? Like I want it to be kind of well rounded for sure. Like I want someone to be able to put it on and be like, oh shit, I can play this
And how
in any
far-
season. You know what I mean?
And how far in the future do you think we can expect an album?
Give me like,
Spring,
yeah, I was gonna say give me like 2-3 months, bro. I'll
2-3 months.
Yeah.
Manifest. 2-3 months.
I can do
2-3 months. The
That's what we got
album, dude, it's coming out. My album will be coming out month and a half. The World Is Yours. I recommend tap into Independence Day, baby. Tap into May You Always Remember, and tap into the Heartbreak album, collab album by me and Sneezy. If you want to get familiar with my current sounds. But yeah, we definitely have shit coming with music. We got shit coming with film, short film on the way.
Yeah, people need help or want music videos or anything done like that too. Definitely contact Greg about that.
Contact me, contact Dude, contact Bunchable. We'll make shit happen. Also, I think if you are a local artist, for everybody listening who's a local artist, check out Bridge City. I think it's Bridge City or Bridgeville. I think it's Bridge City Connections in Pittsburgh. So every month, at the end of the month, last Sunday of the month, there's a networking event for entrepreneurs, artists, people who are really driven. Like, these aren't people who are just there to like look cool, hang out. These are people who want to network, connect, talk business. End of the month in Pittsburgh, if you're on this side of PA.
That's Passage Studios, right?
Yeah, Passage Studios.
Passage Studio.
It's Passage Studios. They also hold events at different outings as well. So, like, just a few months ago, they had a DJ off between I don't know who his opponent was, but I know Jaden Thomas was in it. He ended up winning it. So, yeah, I definitely.
Excellent vibes there. Excellent vibes. It was a good
Facts.
time. Everybody was having a good time. We were all like making music upstairs for a period of time. You made
Yep.
a song. That song was good. It was fire.
For sure. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. If you go to Passage Studios to their networking event, you get 5 free photos, professional photos, not phone photos, professionally shot, edited, sent to you directly to your email photos. And if you're into making music like we are, you can always go up to the studio upstairs and record with Lovehead. You could also come down here and record if you want to come to Bunchables, if that's closer to you, because I know Pittsburgh is a bit of a hike for a lot of people. And I mean, why not just go record in your backyard when it's right there?
Yeah, it's close by. It's easy.
Facts,
Very laid back.
for sure. I recommend all artists do that. And I think we should do something local. Probably start next year. 2025 is going to be a great year. I think
Definitely. Branching out, going to some different cities. We're going to put our name out into some different cities for
we
sure.
should do a city collab between big, ambitious people and host networking events. Get the city jumping again. But yeah, that's. Is there any topics you can think of that we should
Let me think.
end it off
We
with?
go over everything that was on here.
Yes, sir.
December 3 rescheduling. What's that about?
Oh shit, I forgot to mention it. December 3rd. I mean, if a lot of people don't know, weed's about to be rescheduled. What do I mean by rescheduled? So currently, weed is classified the same as meth, heroin, cocaine by law. Like, not, I don't think it's nowhere near that, but by law, weed is in that classification. So the DEA has been talking about. It's been in talks for like damn near a year now. I remember mentioning it a while back about rescheduling it to schedule. I think from Schedule 3 to Schedule 1, and what that means, it's going to be the same as nicotine. So it will actually also be prescribed in doctor offices as well. Like, you could go get weed, but that's going to be big. That's going to change the landscape.
I was
think
going to say, what do you think that's going to do for like businesses? Like
it's a great
a
question.
lot of businesses in cannabis right now, I feel like might even be already struggling because of things like base smokes.
Regulations. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Facts.
Like there's these THCA products that are coming out left and right. Like our friend, our boy Jesse just showed us this 7-gram cart he gets from down the road, and
Shit's impressive.
cheap
fuck.
as hell too, for real. Like that's a good price you can get it for, and that'll last you, like somebody like him or me, a long time, for real.
7 fucking gram
Yeah.
cart. Like, that's crazy. And I mean, as long as that shit's not fucking some fucking glycerin. It wasn't. It was gas. I tried it. It was gas. I mean, it's fire.
I thought
but
it tasted good.
But your question, what do I think it's going to do for businesses? I think that right now, very strategic and purposefully, there's a lot of regulations on cannabis businesses, which makes it hard if you're not one of the main names to make it real big in it right now. But I think that they're getting ready to let some locks on, let some chains loose, and I think that it's going to be flourishing. I think it's going to go from, I think right now it's a couple $100 billion industry to trillions.
Absolutely.
And I think that, I know one of the things that comes with rescheduling it, which is so important, is that it allows more research to be done on it legally. Like, colleges and all of that will actually give us more data, which I think that's going to show that
Same
it's better
goes.
than most pharmaceuticals,
Same goes with the psychedelics. If we
Yeah.
actually start testing them and using them
which RFK said that was
for
the
healthy
plan.
benefits and things like that, I think that they could greatly improve mental health. To be honest, like there's so many people that
Nah,
I've met
for
that I feel
sure.
like their entire life would be different if they just like dabbled in psychedelics a little bit.
I
That sounds
agree.
crazy,
I
but
mean,
it's
there is a little bit of research out there now, and the little bit of research that's out there about psychedelics now, 9 times out of 10 is about, it's done on veterans and PSD patients, and it shows that people who come from war, people who do all that, like, they take this shit and they heal, and they no longer are on medications, no addiction, shit like that, and they're good in the head. And they only do this shit like once every 3 months. There's real studies on this. This ain't just word of mouth. But I just think being able to know what the truth is important. Like,
Absolutely.
Like, you shouldn't hide the truth because you feel something. It's like that's like that's like whoever regulates shoes being like, I don't fuck with Adidas, I fuck with Nike, so let me blackball Nike. Like, I don't see.
I feel like overall as a human race, we've stopped evolving into the right direction or the right positive direction because of competition and because of like money and things like that. Like I don't know. There's like I feel like a lot of advancements that could have been made by now if we weren't having problems. Not like saying like,
Yeah,
oh, world peace, but like
if our
you know.
focus wasn't on, like, yeah, like material. I know what you mean, for sure.
The war on drugs is a lie.
How long? But my thing is, how long do you think it's been like this? Though, like, I feel like money, cause gold, way back when, I feel like money's been a concept for thousands of years.
Yeah, I mean we've always needed currency because like you can trade
But
all day, but you still. Need
but
to
I
be able
will
to
say, I
purchase.
think it's a broken system now. Like, right now, it's damn near trying to make everybody a slave.
I think what's making it really complicated is like all these countries trying really hard to like make everything in digital, and but like inevitably we still need cash at least for some situations. Like I don't know, like but go to buy something off Facebook Marketplace and say so and so doesn't have a way for you to send them money.
Right.
Like you have to be able to buy it with something.
Yeah, they said that like 80% of cash right now is digital.
That's wild.
That is crazy.
That's wild.
That is crazy.
So like, what do you do like if like you got okay like I got like all my money, every penny is on this card, right? And like, you know, like the internet or banking's everything like shuts down or like there's a big like huge mishap or whatever, and like I can't buy nothing. Like I can't go to the store and buy nothing with a card. Like that's where like you need cash. I feel like you still need cash.
Yeah, I definitely think you should get cash and get like gold or silver and shit. But I will say, speaking of currency, one of the things that has happened last week, and I'm about to check what it's at right now, is Bitcoin right now.
Was it at 94, wasn't it?
It was at 98. I think it's
Damn.
at 99 right now. But I'm about
Damn.
to check. But Bitcoin right now, as far as market cap, is worth more. Yeah, right now, look, it's at 99. It's about to cross 100K for the first time ever. But right now, Bitcoin's market cap is worth more than all three of the biggest banks combined, which is JP Morgan, Chase, and I think it's Bank of America. Combined, they don't equal Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now is 1.9 million, or not million, trillion market cap. I think that all these foreign coins and shit are going to disrupt money and like the current rules and structure of how we've been doing it for a while, and I think they're going to have no choice but to like revitalize how. Plus, like with AI and shit, like eventually shit can only be so valuable. Like if I can run a business as a one man and I got 10 to 100 robots running the business, like I mean, money's not even.
That's like when it
You're
comes
not paying them shit.
like if you can have robots that you don't have to pay working the windows at McDonald's, like there already goes so many jobs. Like think about that.
Yeah.
Because if they can do that, which eventually I feel like they could,
Right.
you never know.
Which is like, if that's happening, if all those jobs are going, how are people getting paid? Are people all going to switch to digital pay? But I think that's a.
Do you know the owner of Bitcoin is like wanted by every government in the world?
Yeah, Satoshi.
Yeah, is that what his name is? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I just started looking into him. Satoshi.
Okie. Imagine doing
Scottie
that, man.
Pippen just said that. Scottie Pippen just said that he used to know Satoshi, and this one dude who's apparently like he has the biggest ETF, Bitcoin ETF, and he's like super knowledgeable. He's a guy billionaires call to teach. He was like clowning Scotty. He's like I love Scotty. He was there whenever Scotty said it. Actually, they were sitting right next to each other. Scotty was like, yeah, I used to be good friends with Satoshi, me and him. And the guy was like, it's cap, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. So I was gonna say because that does sound kind of fabricated,
Yeah.
but I mean, you never know. I
Do
mean,
you
someone
think Satoshi's real, or do you think he's an alias?
that's another good question. A lot of people don't even think he is real, and that like the true creator of it just made up the name, made up the whole everything, and like he
Which
could.
would be so fucking brilliant.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, you have to think, dude. Whoever made it up is definitely brilliant. They're genius. They made that. When
I
did
feel
that
like-
drop? When did that actually like really first start?
It was 2009, I think, or 2008. But
Yeah.
I mean, whoever made that, like I said, it's 1.9 trillion right now. They're worth $2 trillion right now.
And that's just from what we know.
Exactly.
And that's just from what we
Who
know.
knows? Who knows how
And
they
like
invest?
that's just from one of their hobbies. You know what I mean? Like think about that. Like imagine like how many other things they could have going
Bro,
on.
that's the level we gotta reach for sure. That's the vision.
Absolutely.
That's the vision.
We're gonna go meet that guy out there on a ferry in China.
For
Is it
sure, call
it's
him
somewhere
up,
in Asia?
Tell him slide to the embassy. But yeah, I think that is pretty good basis for the vision talk today.
Absolutely. Good
Hell
with that.
yeah.
We're about to go on Stash Spot here at 6.
Stash Spot at 6. Tune in tonight. Every Friday, 6 p.m. Stash Spot's Bunchable. Every Saturday, 8 p.m.'s Marley's interview.
Visionary Talks. Much love, dude. Greg,
Yes,
let's
sir.
go.
Go.
Have a good night.
That was crazy.